Hey everyone, welcome to today's video. You guys voted, and today we are going to learn how I do my brows. If you want to see how I do them, then keep on watching. Alright, so let's get these brows started. So I actually don't like having hair on my eyebrows, so I go in and shave most of them. Most of the time I actually like to keep the front of the brow. I like to call it Starfire brows. So I'm just going to go right in and shave off most of my brows. So fresh, so clean. Now, because I don't really have a whole lot of brow to start, I personally go in with a pencil first to start to really get out my shape. And I go in with something much lighter than what I actually like in my brows. So I'm going to go in with the shade Stylized by MAC. It's like a taupey ash blonde. And what I like to do is I like to follow the golden rule and use this divot in my nose to the corner of my eye to figure out where my brow starts, and that's where I still have a little bit of hair. And then I like to use the side of my nose, go to the side of the iris, and that's where my arch should be. So I'm going to leave that right there, so I have an idea of where I'm going. And then I'm going to do the same side of my nose to the end of my eye, and then that's where the tail should end. I'm just going to repeat that on the other side. Figured y'all would want to be a little bit closer so you can actually see what I'm doing here. So now I'm going to use the same pencil, and I'm going to underline the shape that I want, playing connect the dots. By laying out our little blueprint, we can make sure that we're going to be as symmetrical as possible across both sides, as well as it's going to be a really great shape for your face shape. Because everybody's face is a little bit different, let's just be real. And just by my underline, everything looks pretty symmetrical so far. So now I'm going to actually kind of do the tail and then kind of work my way back towards the front. Alright, so I have my outline going, pretty symmetrical. Now I actually stop using this pencil now, and I'm actually going to fill it in with pomade because that product actually wears the longest. And I'm going to go in with Anastasia Beverly Hills, a little dip brow action, and I'm going in with the shade Dark Brown. Now, brushes. Brushes are very important when it comes to brows, in my opinion, and I like something that's going to be super, super thin. So I have a few favorites here. I have a MAC 266 brush, which is super thin, a little bit more flexible. Another top favorite of mine is the Anastasia 12 brush. Usually is recommended with her dip brow, but I love it for really any brow product. And then the Morphe JS, what number is she? JS7, so the Jeffree Star brow brush. This one's new, it's super thin, so I'm actually going to use this today. Now with pomade, you want to be careful with how much product you pick up because it can be a lot really quick. So I actually like to take my brush, go in, and I coat both sides of the brush pretty heavily. You really want to fill up all the bristles with this. And then I'll actually take my cap and kind of wipe off all the excess and really flatten out your brush. And then if you do need to pick up more product, go back in here instead of going directly into the product, because that way you won't end up with too much. Now where I like to start is I like to start more in the tail with this product, because wherever you place your brush first is where the most product's going to be. So I like the tail the darkest.
What does perfect even mean? Is there even such a thing? Ooh, can we switch
And
up
we're just filling in the lines.
and imagine a utopia? Darling, I'm just so fed up with these expectations. They keep weighing me down.
So now that my tail is filled in, I'm going to slowly bring the product to the front of my brow until I run out of product on my brush, essentially.
Need and pretend. Honey, I'm a perfect 10. Whoa, whoa. Honey,
Now when getting to the front of the brow is naturally a lot thinner in the front, so we want to use less product there so it appears as natural as possible.
see. Honey, I'm a perfect 10.
And then before it dries, I take the spoolie off the other end of the brush and run back into it gently to further diffuse it. And now I'm just going to repeat that on this side. Alright, now that they're completely filled in with the pomade, I actually now like to go in and set it with brow powder to really lock it in place. Now for a super long wearing powder, I actually really like the Benefit Foolproof powder. This stuff is amazing. It really helps keep my brows in place. You actually get two colors in it. You get a lighter and a darker, and I'm going to literally just set what I did with these two shades exactly how it looks like in the pan.
These expectations, they keep weighing me down. My heart is begging me to get the hell.
You'll notice too, I like to actually press this into the brow rather than like really swipe, so it like really sticks in there.
Pretend, honey, I'm a perfect 10. Whoa, honey, I'm a perfect 10. Whoa, and if I say it enough, it gets ingrained in my head.
Alright, so our brows are set. They're going to be locked in place. Now you'll notice I get pretty messy with my brows, I'm not gonna lie. Just because I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna clean it up with concealer anyways to get that really sharp edge because I don't have hair, so things can start to look a little blurry and weird. So I'm gonna use my MAC Studio Fix, and I'm gonna carve out my brows. Any flat concealer brush will do. Today I'm gonna use a little Sigma brush with it. Now I'm gonna take this concealer. Now you want to make sure that you like really load up your brush on both sides, so that way it's full of product and you can like really flatten out your brush so you get a really crisp line. Now how I carve out is I take the Are you laughing at me? Now how I carve out the brows, I take my brush kind of vertically, and I like to start right up underneath the arch, and I'll take my brush and I rock it side to side until I get as close to the brow as I need to.
Whoa, honey, I'm a perfect 10. Whoa, whoa.
Oh, I love a good brow.
Ingrained in my head, and I start to see.
So the difference between the two, like blurry, hot mess, looks like you slept in it, to like crisp, I'm a cut a bitch kind of brow. Now I'm just gonna carve out the other side.
Whoa, honey, I'm a perfect 10.
Bam! We got ourselves a set of brows. I'm just gonna go over the top of them really lightly with concealer, just to like really shape them out.
We breathe, every single thing we see curated. It's overrated. These expectations, they keep weighing me down. My heart is begging me to get the hell out of my head. I'm trying to live inside the upside down. For a minute and pretend, honey, I'm a perfect 10.
Alright, now that is how I do my eyebrows. I know it's a little bit different than how most people do brows because I don't have a hair. Now y'all probably know why I always do my brows off camera before I start doing anything else, just because it does take quite a bit of work to make them look like real eyebrows. Let me know what you think below, and don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. I know I sound almost like a real YouTuber. That's it for this video. Peace out.